Welcome to Empowering Seniors. I'm your host, Katherine Ambrose. If you have a lot of living to do, I've got two ladies to introduce you to that are going to inspire you, hopefully, to try new things. And guess what? They're accidental social media influencers, and we're going to talk about what that means. Meet Cindy and Jerry, and let's find out what they've been up to. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show. I've heard about you from so many people. And so it's really, I'm tickled to get to meet you in person and find out about all of this that you're doing out there.
Awesome. Well, we're the founders of Women Hiking Kansas and Beyond. And we became friends through a work situation. And then we would go hiking and we'd post pictures on Facebook. And our friends would say, "Ooh, take me. I want to go next time." And so we thought, what do you think about that? So we made a Facebook page and we invited our good friends because we knew how active they were and that's all we were going to invite. Well, people started sharing the invite, and our first hike we had 12 people show up, 12 women, and we only knew 2 of them. So, and then it just went on, and it just wasn't really our close friends thing. And so all the women in our group are brand new friends to us.
Oh, that's really cool. So how long ago did you start doing this?
We started it in 2019. We started it late in the year that year and went for 3 or 4 months then, and then COVID hit, and so we had to lay off for 2 or 3 months. And we did a lot of research, just Cindy and I, that's what we call it, research, when we go out on our hiking research trips, because we don't take our group anywhere that we haven't personally been, because we want to be able to tell them, you know, is it going to have an incline, how long is it, and we always have to make sure there's enough parking for everybody. And so once COVID was over, we started it back up, and we do monthly hikes with our group, and they're all listed on Facebook as an event.
Very good. So just Facebook, Women Hiking Kansas and Beyond.
Yes, it is.
So how many hikes have you gone on, do you think, now?
Oh, goodness. 12.
Times 3.
Yeah, yes, quite a few, yes. And like Jerry said, we go out and we do our research. That's what I tell my husband. "Oh, honey, I've got to go back to Colorado and do research out there." But like Jerry said, we make sure we are knowledgeable about the trails, and we try to find something for everybody. You know, maybe waterfalls, maybe lakes, and then some big hills for the go-getters, the younger gals. But no, we keep up pretty good, don't we?
Yeah.
So you have women of all ages that are participating, and people probably pick and choose the hikes that they're interested in.
Yes.
So what kind of feedback have you had as far as, I bet people have been surprised at some of the beauty you've introduced them to.
Oh, sure.
Most of them have no idea that the places that are in Kansas are even here. We do 12 hikes a year. Sometimes we add 1 or 2 more, but so we probably have either 10 or 11 that are in Kansas. And then in September, we have been going to Estes Park, Colorado every year. So this will be our 4th year to go there. So the ones in Kansas, they normally have no idea or haven't even heard of the location.
We were at a kind of a trade show one time, and we had our table, and these 3 girls walked up and they said, "Oh, we're so glad to see you guys here." And they said, "We all moved here. We didn't know each other before we started hiking with you guys." And they said, "Now we're like best friends," and they do everything together. So, you know, it's the camaraderie, we love seeing that, and you know, and everybody is really helpful with others, and yeah, it's just been such a wonderful experience. And you know, we like to see them grow, and you know, they come in so green. You know what? They won't come with any water. We say, "Okay, no," and we usually have some cases of water in the back of the car, and say, "Okay, anybody that didn't bring water, we've got some." And you know, but everybody just is really helpful to each other, and it's been fun to watch it morph into what it has become, from 12 people
To how many people now, sometimes?
Well, we have over 9,000 followers on Facebook, but we have anywhere from, oh gosh, we started with those 12, and now sometimes we might have 175 ladies show up for, that was our New Year's Day. That was our biggest group that showed up. But we don't hike in one big group clump as 175. We wouldn't do that to the trails and to the other hikers out there. But it's just cool because it just naturally thins out. And we don't know how it happens, but you look around and there might be 4 or 5 over here, 4 or 5 over there, and it just thins out. So somehow it just all works.
Perfect, because people are going at their own pace.
Yes.
True, and some of them can go different distances. And it's interesting talking about the camaraderie, because if, like Susie over here happens today to get with this group of 3 or 4, then they'll show up the next month with that person, you know, and so they've made a friend, and then they invite a friend. I mean, it just keeps adding. We have, our youngest is 12 years old, and our oldest is 84 or 85? 86 now.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I think that's so inspiring too. And, you know, for a 12-year-old to see women that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and seeing the vitality and being able to see a long life could be really great.
Yes.
I would love to be a hiker when I'm 86.
Absolutely, yes. And she gets around really well, and we'll say, so where is she at? Oh, she's way up there. Okay, we'll never catch up. Let's just keep going at our own pace. But yeah, it is cool. So yeah, we like to set a good example for, you know, hey, it doesn't end at 20, you know, even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, exactly.
And we have some that are, I think the most we've had is a 3-generational, like a grandma, a mother, and a daughter all on the same hike. So we have a lot of mother and daughter. They're normally an adult and a 60-year-old, but we have a lot of that too.
That's really awesome.
It is.
Just encouraging people to get out there in friendship and boldness, starting something new, but being out in the fresh air and seeing more of your state than what you even realized was out there. So do you have women coming from lots of other geographic areas, other cities?
Yes, all over. With our local hikes, probably 50, 60 miles away. One gal comes all the way from Glasgow every hike we have, and she is well into her 60s, and she wouldn't, 70s, yes,
75.
she wouldn't miss a hike. So yeah, 60s, that's us.
What just a healthy, fun activity to do, and all women.
Yes.
And what about having it be all women is appealing to some of the other ladies that show
I
up?
think they like just the fact that it's all women. We can talk about whatever we want to, not that any of us dislike men, but it's just a different conversation. And you're out in the woods, out in nature, and there's times that anybody needs to stop and use the restroom. Well, there aren't normally official restrooms, so you have to go behind a tree or whatever. And it's just a comfortable feeling. And then the conversations that go on between the women.
You'll hear some talk about pregnancy and breastfeeding and Social Security, you know, so we cover all of it, you know, every conversation is done.
Great exchange of information.
Yes, oh yes,
True.
absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so what have some of the most surprising things to you been about this whole experience?
I think their excitement with a lot of it. I mean, some of them just can't wait till the next one. I mean, not that I didn't expect them to be excited, but they truly, truly are. And they can't wait to come hike, plus see either the friends they are going to meet there or the new friends that they meet.
And we have t-shirts, Women Hiking Kansas and Beyond, and the gals, when they go on their own personal vacations, they'll wear their t-shirt. And so we have on Facebook what we call Hiker Spotlight. And we'll say, oh, here's Susie Q, such and such place. And, you know, and then other women get ideas of where to go. And so.
Yeah, today, just on the way, we got a picture from a lady. She's up in Alaska and she's got her shirt on. So they love to do that.
How does it make you feel knowing that you've had such an impact already in just a short amount of time on other women?
It can be overwhelming. Some days we just think, oh my gosh, from 12 women, look at all of these. And yeah, it's just to see the happiness. And early on, one of our hikers lost her husband, and within an hour, we started seeing comments on Facebook say, hey, let's all get together. Hey, can anybody bring their lawnmower over, mow her yard, bring in food for relatives that are coming? And it was like, do they even know each other? No, they didn't, but you know, all women. And you know, earlier you asked about men, and we love men, but it becomes a little more competitive when men are there. I've hiked with my husband, and they have longer legs, they have longer strides, and it's always, you know, it just seems to work with all women. And there are other co-ed hiking groups in the state, but I think we're one of the few all-women groups, and we plan to keep it that way, just because every so often we ask our gals, okay, do we want to open it up? No, you know.
It's neat that you've kind of created a tribe, and it's just the right fit for them. And I bet you're going to have more and more people. So have you identified maybe other women around the country that have become like accidental influencers, or started up groups, or doing something similar to you?
There's other women hiking groups across the United States. Just some are, like some out in Colorado, they have quite a few, just probably because of the mountains, and they're just kind of all over. I don't know how big or how often they hike, though.
Yeah. Do you get ideas from just doing research online?
You know, we do. We'll look things up, and then, like we said earlier, we go and we find out, or we'll just have heard about something and think, oh, we should go check that out. I lived in Texas for a while, and so we've got our eyes on some places down there. We've been to Arkansas, to Oklahoma, Colorado, of course. We went to Nebraska to do research.
Oh, we went on up to South Dakota.
Yes.
But we really wanted to go up there. They had some really neat places, but if you had more than 10 cars in your group, it just wasn't going to work because of the parking. And we may have 50, 60 cars, and like I live in Salina, and so there's a place up there to hike, and so I met with a lady up there, and so they're going to work with us and open up an area to allow us to park in there so we can do the hike. And that's not a normal thing for them to do. So if we wouldn't have checked that out before, we would have been stuck.
So what kind of tips and tricks have you figured out along the way?
Well, one of the things, so women will say, well, what do I need to get started? And usually the first thing that we recommend are hiking sticks. They're great for balance. It keeps, and other women have acknowledged this too, but I know when I go out and walk in the neighborhood and my arms are swinging down, my fingers start to swell. Well, with hiking sticks, your arms are bent at 90 degrees. That doesn't happen anymore. But it's also great if you're crossing water. You can test a rock out there to see if it's going to wiggle when you step on it. And then we haven't seen many critters, but you know, it would be great to kind of defend yourself with them. But just really for balance, because I would say, what do we think our main age group is? What, 40?
I'd say 45 to 65.
Yeah, 45 to 65. So, you know, it's just nice to have a little extra balance.
And if you're going up a little bit of a hill, I mean, we get used to using them, and if you don't have them, you can tell a big difference.
Cool. And so you can probably show them how to use those, maybe tell them where to go for shoes, what kind of socks to get, things like that. So you're educating too.
That's true. We have a lot of questions about shoes, and that's it's like any shoes, it's such a personal item. It depends on how your feet you know, fit in any given shoe. We can give ideas, but we don't recommend any specific brand.
And I like to tell women, okay, so when you do get a new pair of hiking boots, put all your other shoes away and wear those every day, every minute for a week or so. And that way you can pinpoint blisters or rubbing, and before you're 3 or 4 miles out on a trail and you realize, oh, I've got a big old blister, and lots of water. Yes,
and you know, we always tell them to have a backpack. Also, it doesn't have to be a hiking per se backpack, just a backpack that you can put your water in if you're carrying bottles. So also, if you have a rain jacket, if it's a rainy day, and if you're not going to wear it, you can always put it in your backpack, have some snacks, maybe a little first aid kit. And that, again, what goes in your backpack is all personal choice also, but we can give them recommendations.
Well, it sounds like you do a lot of thinking about all these things. And so first aid kit now, have you had any incidents where you've had to dig into that? Or?
Well, we did have one gal one time slip in the mud and she banged her head. Well, so going back to all women, the people that were right around her didn't have Band-Aids first aid kit, but one of the ladies had a panty liner, and they put that on the scrape on her head, and it was all good. So those things come in handy too. But one of the things that we like to do is every hike we have new women come and join us, and we make sure that everybody has a note card with emergency contact information in their backpack, because so if somebody does go down, we know who to contact and all of.
Because sometimes they will drive by themselves if it's a close location and may not know anybody there, and we try to have the ladies that are new, we'll say who's new and have them raise their hands. And if they have nobody to hike with, get them paired up with somebody. So hopefully they aren't by themselves and don't know anybody. So if something happens.
And we do kind of stress, we don't want anybody hiking by themselves, because if something happens, you don't have anybody to go get help. But so we try to do that. And there are some people that really enjoy striking out on their own, and we respect that. But, we do try to encourage them to hike with somebody.
Yes.
But at least they know there's other women, there, and so they're not totally alone, because that that could be scary. A woman hiking alone by themselves, and now you've done some personal safety training.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. Seems like a good match.
So I teach personal safety and self-defense, and I don't teach women how to beat up a dude. I teach women how to find a window of opportunity to run away to safety, to escape and run away. And one of the things when we're out hiking, I really don't like it if there's somebody behind me that I don't know. So we've kind of made a plan that I'll say, oh, hiker coming up, and we'll kind of step off to the side, because I can't see what they're doing behind me. And so we'll always, oh, go ahead, you're much younger, and we let them go on by us. But once again, going back to safety in numbers, that could come in handy that way too. And just the old, be aware of who and what's going on around you, and if something creeps you out, get the heck out of there.
To listen to your intuition.
Oh, intuition, yes.
And when we're out hiking, it's probably more in Colorado than anywhere, but it's not just people that we're watching out for. We don't make sure, but we be aware of if there are any animals out there.
So one hike, we're walking, and I was behind Jerry, and all of a sudden I saw her stop. And I thought, "Ooh, what's going on?" And she just was frozen. I said, "What up? What's up?" And she said, "Did you hear that?" Oh. And we stood there and we just listened. And I mean, we talk all the time, but we were silent, and so we probably went 2 miles with hardly talking, and we'd stop and we'd listen, and we didn't hear anything anymore. But you have to be aware.
Yes, because a lot of times the animals will see you, but we may not see them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to come in between a mama bear and her cubs, because she doesn't like that. And so, but they say make noise, let people know you're coming. And so
we always have, in Colorado, we always have bear bells, or just a bell that hangs on our hiking stick or backpack that makes noise as we're walking.
Good. So they might decide not to be around.
Yes.
Right, yes. And then some of the ladies carry bear spray, which is just, real high potency pepper spray.
So I understand there's another product that you came across that's a spray. Tell us that story.
Yeah. Well, so one time in Colorado, Jerry and I were out doing research, and well, actually, we were just out hiking. We hadn't even started the group, and oh my goodness, we were huffing and puffing and just out of breath. And so one day, I was in a store, and when I walked out, I saw this display for a product called Boost Oxygen, and I thought, how silly is that? Well, I bought 2 cans, took them out to the car, gave Jerry one, and it is 95% pure oxygen. The air that we breathe is like 21%. And that very first day, we could tell a difference. And it used to be when we got out of breath, we'd say, oh, let's take a picture, and we'd take pictures to breathe. And so we started taking a lot less pictures now that we have oxygen with us. But yeah, so we give these, or encourage our ladies to get a can of Boost Oxygen. And then we learned how to tag on social media. And so we'll send pictures to Boost Oxygen of our ladies using their product. And so it's become a really good working relationship. But yeah, our ladies can tell the difference too. And lots of sporting goods stores here in Wichita sell.
Just like a lot of department stores, like Walmart type department stores, discount stores, everything, pharmacies, just all over. Wow. And there's this size, there's a medium size, and then a really large size. And the thing is, you don't know how empty or full the cans are because there is no weight to the oxygen, so you kind of have to keep it in your head to know how much you've used or carry an extra can with you.
So now, are you affiliated with this company?
No, we just love the product, and we use it all the time. Interesting point, Boost Oxygen got their start on Shark Tank. And so, and one of the pictures that we had sent them, look at us, they used on the 1 year review of them winning Shark Tank, and they had our picture on them. We thought, well, look at us in our 60s. We are on Shark Tank, just our photo. But no, we don't work for them, but we love their product. And
well, it sounds like you're learning a lot and you're sharing a lot and you're doing a lot of good stuff out there, and just came out of a casual friendship, and you're not an organization or a company. It's just, hey, ladies, let's get together.
We're on Facebook.
How about that?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg.
What would be your suggestion for a viewer out there that maybe is getting a little curious about being more active, whether it's hiking or something else?
I think the goal is whatever it is they want to do, they just need to get out and try it. Maybe find a friend that they can go with. If they want to just go out for a walk, they could do that. If they want to try a hike, we've talked, hiking is walking. You know, now some of our hikes, there will be elevation, there'll be hills and sand to go up and down, but it's just a different form of walking. So I think everyone just has to be brave and go try whatever it is, or whatever they can find that's either indoors or outdoors, whatever works for them.
And some of our ladies might go 10 miles and some 1/10 of a mile. And we always say there is no bad hike. You do what you can do, and then maybe next time we go a little further. So.
Very good. That's kind of a neat opportunity too, through social media, that you can take a passion and turn it into an invitation to other people to get involved and to make great connections.
It's a very easy way to do it. I mean, it does take work on our end, but it's an easy way to get the word out to many people. If they want to look at it or look for it, it is available for them.
And you've really created your own community, and you're really doing a lot of great things for Kansas and Kansas citizens. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you found this interesting. You do have a lot of living to do, and we sure encourage you to be curious and to plug into all the opportunities that are out there. And if you have questions or suggestions related to this topic or anything else that we do, please reach out to us at 316-686-4500, or you can email us at empoweringseniors@kpts.org. I'm Katherine Ambrose, and I'll see you next time on Empowering Seniors.